Treetop Radio LA, man. We are broadcasting live in Baltimore, Maryland via Los Angeles, California, man. I'm your host, Big Homie Smiles. You can follow me on Instagram. That's big_homie Smiles with a Z, man. That is my man on the ones and twos in the background. Been ready, like we've been ready to elevate, man. Been ready, like we've been ready for our reparations from this country, man. Been ready, like we've been ready for the justice against police brutality and the justice for Michaela Bryant in our communities, man. We got a wonderful show, man. That is my man on the song. That's Jamil, Rated R Productions, man. Shout out to him for throwing me that exclusive. We got a wonderful show. The topic of the day is depression and ways to overcome it. The purpose of this show is to bring awareness to mental health issues we face on an everyday basis. Our focus will be on depression, its cause, its effects, and how society has conditioned us to cope with having it. We will discuss ways we as a culture can turn depression into determination through the intentions of wanting to and be willing to heal from childhood and adult trauma. Creating emotion through this topic is how we can come out on the other side with a stronger mental health regimens to keep our sanity in a world filled with chaos. Now we got a great show. I got a great guest coming on in a few moments. I just wanted to go over some things with you guys. I wanted to first explain and give you guys a clinical definition of what depression is. Most of us know depression as being, somebody who just wants to commit suicide, but it's a lot of other factors that come into that. And especially in our community, we don't really touch on mental health. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about depression. So depression is common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, how you act. Fortunately, it is also treatable. Depression causes feelings of sadness and or loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can decrease your ability to function at work and home. Some symptoms that we have with depression is feeling sad or having a depressed mood. You have a loss of energy. You can have an inability to sit still and pace. So it's just a lot of other factors that come into play when you're dealing with depression. So if you recognize these symptoms within yourself or within somebody, you need to step in and just sit down and try to talk to them. Depression affects an estimated 1 in 15 adults, 6.7% in any given year, and 1 in 6 people, 16.8%, will experience depression at some point in time in their life. This is powerful. I want y'all to stay with me. Depression can occur at any time, but on average first appears during the late teens to mid-20s. Women are more likely than men to experience depressions. Some studies show that 1/3 of degree of hereditability, approximately about 40% women, when first degree relatives, parents, children, and siblings have depression. I got my boy Jay. He's a featured guest on our show. He's been with us a couple times, and I just brought him into the discussion. He's coming from Toronto, Canada, man. We the North. We the North. You know what I mean? The original first NBA game was in Canada. I ain't even know that. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank you, Jay, for tapping in with me.
First of all, thank you for having me. I say this every time, but it's true.
Yeah, already. I appreciate that.
Especially today, we ain't just trying to promote some music or nothing like that. It's more serious than that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I feel like sometimes we got to have these discussions, especially in our community, when, talking about mental health can be like a scary subject and a scary topic. Now, just before we get into it, and I ask you some questions on, depression and things like that, I want to just let the audience shout out to Spotify and Apple, Amazon, YouTube for tuning in, all my normal listeners. I appreciate y'all. Y'all the bomb.com. I want to let my audience know some risk factors for depression that they can be aware of. A lot of times when you're dealing with depression, it has the risk factors come with your biochemistry. That means that you have something in your brain that is like off a little bit, and depression is a lot more rapid than a normal person. Environmental factors like the continuous exposure to violent, neglect, abuse, or poverty may make some people more vulnerable to depression. Personality also can have a role in that. People with low self-esteem who are easily overwhelmed by stress or who generally are pessimistic and appear to be more likely to experience depression. Now, what I wanted to focus on was how in our society, number one, the environment, like if you're in a certain area, if you're in a certain neighborhood, if you know what I'm saying, you can, like, for me, when I moved to Los Angeles, Los Angeles is a wonderful, 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 wonderful place. But when I got there, I noticed, it's a lot of homeless, it's a lot of, people living on the streets, that for me can put like a depressing kind of state in my mind, me being from the East coming to the West, you always have a certain type of picture when you go into a different place. Even where I live at, the Washington, D.C. area, it can be depressing, kind of scenery, what I'm saying? Just seeing our people, like in the projects. Most people don't know, and before I like really get into it, like most people don't understand, like when you're living in the projects or when you're living in a neighborhood that is, doesn't have the most people with like the high education, you are living on top of people, what I'm saying? You're dealing with gun violence, you're dealing with not being able to get jobs, you're dealing with people going to jail constantly.
I'm not even trying to cut you off, but like people think that like Canada's sweet.
People think Canada's sweet.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, man, because I me just from being your homie to like 10 plus years, I didn't really think Canada had too much of like, poverty or nothing like that. It seemed pretty sweet out there. So you would agree that, when you're out there in Canada, the environment that you kind of come from?
The place that I'm living at the moment is a lot more sweet than where I'm from, because I show you things from where I'm from. And if you remember a short while ago, I was there a little bit for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And nothing changed.
Right.
It's been 14 years since I full-time lived there, and ain't shit changed. It's all the same.
It's the same bullshit.
Same bullshit, and I'm tired of losing my homies and all that shit too.
Right.
Just don't live in the hood doesn't mean that I haven't known that nigga since I was like 5.
Right. Now, have you experienced depression or know someone who has suffered from it?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, both.
So how could you recognize it in both situations, in yourself and in others?
To be honest, I had to recognize it myself to realize it from others, and that came from Google.
That came from Google?
That came from Google.
What you put in Google? What you type in Google?
I don't even remember. That was a couple years ago. And I don't think anybody took me seriously because, as like one of my friends, that's not something that somebody's going to take seriously out of me.
Right. Now, when you say somebody, they ain't take you seriously, what you mean? Like when you looked up Google?
No, they're like, man, that ain't wrong with you.
Right. Do you think and that's
because you're always on top of your game. You don't show nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Right. You got a face. You put on like a little face.
I have to. I have bills to pay, and I'm by myself.
So do you think?
That's the way that I feel. Obviously, I always talk to you when I ain't feeling right.
Right.
Talk to other people. You know what I mean? Actually, Bones said shout out.
Right. Shout out to Bones, man.
And Biggs and my mom
and
too.
Biggs. And your mom and your mom.
Yeah. I don't know who's live and who's not. I can't see that right now, but they'll get the message,
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I shout out certain people if I ain't feeling right, but I was showing certain other people that I'm not really as cool with anymore because obviously that was the first sign, but I didn't know right away that was the first sign. Other things happen in life. You feel me?
Right.
But it's like, wow, you're cool all the time. You're always dropping music. You're always doing.
How can you be depressed? That's how they take it.
But then it feels like if you elaborate on it, then they're testing your gangster.
Right.
And if you're from the street like that, you don't want nobody testing your gangster.
Right.
Because then you have to do more gangster shit.
Right. To get the street
back, you have to do more gangster shit.
To get the what?
To get the street cred back, you have to do more gangster shit.
You have to do more gangster shit. So that causes a little bit of anxiety and can cause depression within people trying to prove themselves, to people who may not even care about what they're going through. Like what you said, like you had to look it up on Google. And when you looked on Google, I'm sure they was like, these are signs of depression, feeling sad, sleeping a lot more, and
Not
things like
wanting to
that.
do anything around the crib, and there's shit to be done.
Right. Or being distressed when you at work, because working can cause depression too, because people don't understand. Like when you got a job that's a 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? You dealing
Because at
with
the time, and you got
crazy bosses.
you can't be jumping from job to job. You get what I mean?
Right.
Maybe your boss is having a bad day, he takes it on you, but doesn't know how you feel on the inside. Like, how are you gonna leave your job and rent is next week? What are you gonna do?
Right. That
You know?
causes anxiety. Like, damn.
Say, okay, so if I quit right now and I have rent next month, when am I gonna get paid again?
Right.
I just lost my job because I quit. Because either I got pissed off or I wasn't in the mood for that. And
Right.
knew that I wasn't in the mood for that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So do you feel like in our society, like especially in our community, our Black and brown community, that people put off mental health and they treat it, especially depression, as like maybe somebody being a whiner? Because, a lot of times when you're trying to tell people your
They're
issues
gonna
and
tell
you're
you to
trying
suck it up.
they're going to tell you, suck it up, stop whining, you tripping, you not really, you know what I'm saying? You're not really hurt. You probably just, out just
No,
off your your
there's
pivot
nothing
for the
wrong.
day.
I ain't saying that there's nothing wrong with having a split for a drink.
Right. Ain't
But
no
but hey man, when you're alone and you're in that stage, then there's a problem with having a drink or a split, because now it's not just one or two. You feel me?
right, because and those are
It's
depressants though. Those depressants, that alcohol is a depressant and weed too.
There it is, right? But
Yeah.
Timberland, I don't like coffee.
Right.
I don't drink coffee. There's nothing wrong with somebody drinking coffee. Like, that's not my business if you like coffee.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not high on the alkaline chart. I've been trying to step it up a little bit these days. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to step it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I never liked it anyways.
You said you never liked it like coffee?
Nah, man. But if somebody says, yo, man, all right, cool. If that's how you're feeling, I'll come over and we can have like 1 or 2 beers together and talk about what's wrong with you. It's a lot different than, man, just suck it up, man. Here, yo, you need some work, yo, you need some paper. All right.
Right. It helps when you have a friend or
It's a false illusion when somebody does something like that.
Right. Because they're not really doing it to help you out. They're just doing it because they feel like that's the right thing to do as your friend or as your family member, because you're expressing how you feel to them.
Yeah, because like probably this guy just needs more money. Let me help him get more money.
So how do we recognize? How can we recognize? Well, how did you recognize in yourself outside of Google, like, man, something not right? I'm a little off. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I gotta sit and talk with somebody or seek help outside of people that I know. Like, what was a major turning point in your life where depression was like smacking you in the face?
Hey man, you're one of the people that I talk to, but we ain't gonna get into the full story. But basically,
my listeners out there, because my listeners in audio world, they don't know us, they don't even see your face. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you talking to me.
Can you see my? Can you see
no,
my?
I'm talking. Yeah. I'm saying we can see your face, but my people that's just listening.
Oh, the audio world.
Yeah.
No, isn't it? It's not even that really deep of a story. It's a really simple story. It's just wagwan. You know what I'm saying?
Wagwan.
Don't do that. But like, yo, in all seriousness, I was just like, all right, cool. Because at first I just started smoking a lot more.
Right.
And then I stopped smoking that much when I was like working all the time. Then I blew my Achilles, and then in like the next 7 days after that, literally 7 days, just blew up. I didn't know where I was gonna live. I didn't know where I was gonna sleep. This, that, third. Got relationship problems, etc. You feel what I'm saying?
That's how you was able to tell like something is a little off.
I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So what am I finna do? Got off my ass, went and got a job, right?
Right.
And then everything still felt kind of off, even if everything was going well.
Yeah.
And I just started blowing my money on stupid shit.
You start blowing your money on stupid shit? Like what? Like, what's the stupid shit? Like
what are you gonna do? Drink off or smoke off a fucking problem? That's what I think. That's what I think. Sorry for my explicit language, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that still, because all you're doing is digging a deeper hole into it. You feel
Right. Exactly. And I even had depression of my own, like, especially, like I always talk about this. I talked about this situation. And my last episode was when I was in college. I went to Johnson C. Smith out there in Charlotte.
mm.
I was
I didn't
pledging.
know you were in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I was in
How,
Charlotte. I thought I told you I was in Charlotte.
how's Charlotte though?
Charlotte was lit, man. Charlotte was
I always
nice.
wanted Charlotte.
Huh?
I've always been a fan of the Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets, man, they some garbage, but
Nah, they some garbage, man, but they got some cool ass jerseys.
yeah, the jerseys is lit. The jerseys lit.
They were cool in the 90s.
They were cool in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? But when I was down there in school, I was pledging Delta, and I got in a situation where I got kicked out of school for fighting. And I was really that really like put me in like a real bad slump. You know what I'm saying? And I was like depressed, and I had to go to like a little institution for a little bit because my shit was off my rocker. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand like what you said, you felt the pressures of everything, you know what I'm saying, like around you. What was the effect that it had on your life once you recognize that, hey, maybe I'm depressed, and maybe I might gotta take a step back from people and try to get my shit together?
That's been pretty recent, to be honest with you.
Mm.
Because all I tried to do is just walk it off. You know what I mean? I just hit the street.
Just hit the street, start working. Do you think that's healthy? Like just to not. It seemed like when you
It's
say
too
you
much work.
right? Just you just like you putting it in the back of your mind.
I tell people all the time, you can't do both.
You can't do both. We forced to do that. It's like we
There's
forced to
only
cope
so
with it.
much hours in the day, and you need a couple hours for yourself. You get what I mean?
Right.
You can't do both. It doesn't work
Can't
like
do both.
that.
Right.
You put in 8.5 hours at your 9 to 5, and you get paid for a half an hour break. I don't know how it works down there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You're working
We get
like
paid for our break.
yeah. So it's a little bit different down there, but you get what I'm saying though. And you ain't making the money that you're making in the street, so you got to pick one. But if you're willing to make the change, just take the 9 to 5. Still, it's a lot more worth it.
It's like, damn, do you risk your life to make the quick money, or for those that's in the streets, or do you try to do
I'm not gonna tell people what to do with their personal choices. I never do that. You know how I get down, but like in my perspective, been there, done that. 10 years. All right, let's fix up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's try something different. Sometimes you can try something different, and then you can still make it pop.
Right.
All you have to do is work hard at that now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that was interesting that you said that, because like even on Instagram, I noticed even on Instagram, like that breeds depression, right? Because Instagram is like a place where you're looking at somebody else's life, you're looking at them succeed, you're looking at them do all these things, have all this money. People in the you got young men and women on the gram holding up a like $100,000 doing the $50,000 challenge. You know what I'm saying? You're like, dang, man, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life that I ain't doing a $50,000? They told me when I was in school, if you work, you go to school. This was how I was told from my parents to my school teachers to my professors. They told me if you work, if you go to school, if you get a degree, you're gonna be straight. When I got out of college, man, I was out here trying to find jobs at retail stores, you know what I'm saying? Because people didn't want it, because in our society, they don't even want to pay people the proper money for the degrees, for the accomplishment that they have. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
really don't though.
It's like, nah, you got a degree. Nah, that mean I gotta pay you $16, $17 an hour, when regular people with just a high school diploma getting $9.50. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, that put people in depression. You know what I'm saying?
That puts people in depression, but depending on the timeline, that might have been around the recession time though.
Around the recession time, when I was trying to get a job.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2010, so I think that was coming
That was kind of like the tail end of the recession.
The tail end. That was like the tail end of the recession. But even still, even like a year or two, you know what I'm saying? I dabbled in the car sales, you know what I'm saying? That's communication, my degree in communication.
That's
but
what I meant. So you got some fly suits.
You said, oh, guys, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love dressing in a fly suit, you know.
I've always been a fan of the bow tie look. You have bow tie.
Man.
Man.
And that kind of, you know,
that was fresh though.
Believe it or not, Jay, that being in the car sales business kind of boosted my energy, and that made me, you know, come out of the depression of me thinking like, damn, going to school was a fail. Like,
well, that's how you feel, but I mean, like, I didn't even finish high school.
Oh yeah,
I'm an honor roll student that never finished high school.
Damn, why you ain't finish high school, Jay?
I got kicked up for not going to the office.
Oh, damn, they on that in Canada? The office?
The office. They said, well, personally, that vice principal had a really personal vendetta with me. I don't know. He never liked me anyways.
Oh, yeah. Damn, so did you go get your GED or nah?
The only reason why I did it is because, see, like when you ask certain questions, they're gonna answer certain questions that you probably have. Like my parents got divorced in the middle of me trying to apply college. I could apply as a mature student without getting the GED.
Right.
So I did that, right?
Yeah.
This is in like 2015, summer 2015. So I applied for HVAC, like the trade course.
Right.
Got in, and it was only a trade school. It wasn't like a regular school
like a university or college or something like that.
Yeah, like it was a trade. It was a college, but it was only for trades, plumbing.
Okay, trade college.
Yeah, so trade college. And I looked at what OSAP, which is basically like what the government will give you to pay for the course. Obviously, they're gonna put interest on it, so I would have still been paying for it anyways. But the interest on the course, they don't put that on a piece of paper. You just have to know how to do math, right?
Right.
That's not why I never took it. Why I never took it is because I was literally about to move out of my parents' house for the first time. I had a rent that I had to pay first and last on for $850. And then they only wanted to give me $2,400 for the whole year as a full-time student, plus bus fare and eating.
Right.
And everything else that when you live alone, you got that's all you. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So that played a toll on you.
So I was like, all right, cool. But that's a double shot at the same time because I didn't even move over the house yet. I had
so
like
you
a week,
focus on all that. You ain't leave.
A week or two before I denied the OSAP because I didn't want to have to pay back the money.
And OSAP is financial aid?
Basically, but it's only for school.
Oh.
Only for school. And the only reason why they wouldn't give me what I was supposed to get is because I didn't already physically move out of the house yet.
Damn.
Like first month type stuff. So it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I got like I didn't really get depressed at that time still. I was kind of just chilling.
Right.
But then like I think a few years later it hit me and I didn't even know. You get what I'm saying? Until I blew my leg, I didn't really know.
Right. Damn. So when you thinking about when it came to, you know, trying to pursue like becoming an adult, basically, when as a young person, you know, you recognize that you made some mistakes and you was trying to, you know, go through those mistakes, but still you get hit with, you know, society and, you know, they kind of, it seemed like they was trying to alienate, you know, your situation based on, you know, maybe
you know it's so crazy. The person that graded my mature student application.
Yeah.
And you already know I'm not racist, nothing still, but after this, she was a white blonde lady.
Oh yeah, she was a Karen.
And I'm so good at math. I'm not sure if I'm as good as I was like 5 or 6 years ago. When I read that. But I was so good at math. I got kicked out of school over 4 years before that from high school.
Yeah.
Never took a class after that. Maybe like 1 or 2. But then, you know, when it doesn't feel like somebody's trying to help you learn anything, then you ain't trying to go if you're making money already.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When you're young. That was 10 years ago. The last class that I took was 10 years ago.
The last class you took was 10 years ago?
I'm only 27. I got kicked out in grade 11, fam.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm 21. I'm writing this mature student thing. I don't know if I'm going to get through, but I'm not nervous. I didn't study for nothing. I don't really care. Like, I do care, but I've never been the type to study. The more that I study, the less of a grade I get. I noticed that.
So you
I'm
just
weird.
freehand that shit.
I just get it in. You know
right.
what I mean? So anyway, so she was like, I feel like the system fails people like you.
That's powerful. She said
And
that.
I was like,
wow, that's crazy.
I knew exactly what she meant. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, fuck. If she was the one that was gonna give me the paper, she would have gave me the paper.
Right.
But
so she wanted to give you, but the system.
She's like, oh man. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, I thought that I was gonna go to school and get something out of this, but if we ain't gonna go to school, then where are we gonna go back?
Right. And I own, you know, society.
That's when
like
I was already like 6 years deep in the street though. I was like, hey man. There's only one way to make paper now.
Right. Let me go back, dive in the streets, and go ahead and get this work off real quick.
Right quick. And then I started building with somebody that happened to live like basically across the street from me. And then I just seen the numbers start getting bigger. So I didn't really think about anything that was wrong.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this shit's all going right.
Right.
You know, you hit a roadblock here or there, but like there's nothing that we can't fix right away.
Right.
You know, no violence involved or nothing. It's just like, hey man, all right, so what? This came up, all right, no problem.
So it's like you condition, like it's conditioned. Do you feel like how is our community conditioned us to cope with depression? Like as far as like what you said, like people would be like, "Oh, ain't nothing wrong with you." It's like,
but that's what I was saying at the intro of the episode, because where I'm from or where I live now.
Where you live now?
It's easy.
And where you from? Both for real.
Oh man, well I don't see no psychiatrist in the hood.
We don't see no psychiatrists in the hood. But they is in the white hoods, the white neighborhoods, though. That's for sure.
So okay, so
more accessible.
You answered my question without me having to say.
Right. So we condition.
I don't live in the hood anymore, but some of my family does. Some of my friends still do.
So accessibility is accessibility to good mental health professionals.
If the government really cared about the hood like they say that they do, and they're always doing these fake donations and stuff, then why wouldn't that be a number one priority when you watch your friends get shot all the time before you're even 15? Because I've seen that shit.
Right, seen death. No, I definitely seen death. You know, within my years of living. So, do you think so? But even with the accessibility of mental health professionals not being really in the neighborhoods of the low income areas of the Black and brown neighborhoods, and just in communities that are low income in general, how do we view? Like, do you think that our society views mental health in a positive light? Because it seemed like if you talk about, you know, you have issues, you may be having like bipolar. It's like they like blackball you. They like, you know what I'm saying, treat you like you got sores all over your face. Mental health issues. What? Honestly, you bipolar. What?
Honestly, depends on the level of bipolar, but sometimes it is hard to deal with.
Right.
That's a nice.
Because your mood swings go up and down with bipolar.
Super up and super down. I had an ex at one point, and her mom was bipolar, and I used to sleep over there sometimes. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Right.
Like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I have some fams, and like they're bipolar, and it's like, bro, I didn't even know.
Right.
You just told me last year, and I've known you for how much time?
Right.
Like I've known you for like 10 years. You just told me last year.
Right.
I didn't even realize.
Right.
I just thought that you get vexed sometimes, because I get vexed sometimes. I get pissed off sometimes.
Right.
Everybody gets hot sometimes.
And had mood swings and shit.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I didn't think it was the same thing, but there's levels to everything. You get what I mean?
There's levels, absolutely.
There's levels to everything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was kind of shocked by that one, but I was like, oh, okay, all right, now it makes sense. And I left it
Right.
at that, and it wasn't a big deal because I just left it at that.
You left it at that. Did you feel like it was necessary for you to like tell your friend, like, okay, maybe whenever
No,
you feel
I didn't, and I don't want to
mm-hmm.
name. I don't want to name who it
Don't
is.
name, don't drop no names, don't drop no names.
I ain't name dropping
No
stuff.
name drop, no
I ain't
name
name
drop.
dropping, but it was one of those. It was one of those where I'm like, all right, cool. There's somebody else in the room, and they said, "Well, you didn't know this." It was one of those. I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't know. People get high."
Right. Right. You know,
It
and
wasn't over.
what you said, that right there, not to cut you off, Jay, but what you said right there was strong, right? You said your friend said you didn't notice, right? So a lot of times when people are acting out or they having these moments where their moods are going up and down, it's like they're trying to reach out to somebody to be like, hey, what's up with you? Why you acting like that? Then they can, man, such and such, or I've been dealing with this. It's like people really want to
No
talk
fact.
about shit. It's like people really want, huh?
Facts though.
Yeah, it's like people really want to talk about it. Like, so what are some techniques that, we can use or apply to turn depression? This is good. So listen, I want you to listen. So what are some techniques we can use to turn depression into determination of life, right? Because depression can put you in the mode where you want to terminate your life a lot of times, where you're feeling like all the stresses and the people around you, they really not getting you, they're not feeling you. It make you want to take your life. How can we transform that into making it a determination of life? You know what I'm saying? Be determined to live. How can we live dealing with mental health?
Well, the first, listen, there's not 100% of the people in your circle that if you say something to, they ain't gonna at least say something to you back.
Right.
They're not gonna just be like, hey man, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not 100%. So first of all, you have to identify who your real friends are.
Come on, say that one more time. One more time. You gotta
Real talk.
fucking.
You gotta identify who your real friends are. Because if you don't identify who your real friends are, then I don't know how to help you.
Right. Because a lot of people don't got your good interest in mind.
Everybody thinks that they can do every fucking thing by themselves.
Right.
And
right. You can't.
You can't. Because I don't care if you're the best rapper alive.
Right.
Who made your beat?
Right.
If you never made your beat and if you never made 100% of your beats and you claim the best rapper alive, you're cap.
You cap.
If you said that you're self-made, at least.
Right. Come on, man. Damn, you talking talk your shit, Jay. Talk your shit, Jay.
No, I would come here and talk that shit.
Talk your shit.
Listen, I never heard. Listen, when Weezy was on top of the game 10 years ago,
yeah,
and he said he was the best rapper alive, did he say he was self-made?
Nah.
All right. All right.
And he say he was self-made. It's a lot of people out here like, I'm self-made, but you getting help from somebody. How you self-made?
Listen, Birdman stole a lot of money from that boy.
Yeah.
That's why Manny Fresh left a lot earlier.
Right, because he got hip.
He was the one making the beats.
Right.
Manny Fresh didn't even get a proper cut, and he made Gold DJ and Fireman and ETC. What are we talking about, man?
Right.
Wayne never said he was self-made. So
right.
how you gonna say, hey man, I'm self-made, and then talk to yourself when you have a problem?
Right.
But you know that other people have your back.
Right.
So in comparison to what I just said, I need a Manny Fresh to my Lil Wayne.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't do this shit. This is hard work. This is harder than me writing a bar.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Like when we're talking about this mental health shit. Like
right. So you need somebody in your corner when you dealing with turning depression into the life, determination of life.
If you don't have anybody close, there's always a therapist out there to look into.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And ain't nothing wrong with therapy. People who are listening, especially in the audio world and looking at us on YouTube.
I talk to a lot of my brethren about how they feel about that leading up to this podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, what they was talking to you about.
Hey man, I got 98% of them saying yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. I like
Right.
it. I like it. Men,
Right.
men and women saying
Right.
yeah, that's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because sometimes our society can exclude men from being able, because in my last podcast, we talk about love and masculine and feminine energy. Because a lot of times when you're dealing with mental health, even
You,
in the statistics, people exclude men. It's like men don't have the opportunity to, it's like men are, not allowed to have mental issues, you know what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to be the stoic guy that, is
to
always on
be
their
honest,
head shit all the
maybe
time.
I'm biased, but I've heard this from a couple other people. It doesn't seem like we are.
Mm,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's,
Explain a little bit more what you
even
mean.
even if they don't tell you to get over it, they're still gonna tell you to man up.
Right.
Be a
Man up.
man.
That's the key. That's the
Do
key
this.
quote. Man up,
Do
nigga.
that.
Stop acting like a bitch.
Oh,
Man
you have
up.
a family. Stop acting like a bitch
Right.
and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That causes
Then and then
depression within men.
and then especially if you're a man that's in the street like that, like if you hear
Mm-hmm.
that from your significant other, what you trying to do? That's what I'm saying. You get put down to have to man up
Right.
to put back your street cred because now imagine your baby mom calls your best friend. Oh man, this nigga's crying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yo, come
This
talk to your
nigga,
boy. This
this
nigga's
nigga
crying.
over here crying, talk about I don't listen to his feelings and he needs somebody to be there for him emotionally. This
Tell
nigga
him to
acting
pick
like
up the
a
strap.
sucker.
I like tell him to pick up the strap and the scale. God damn.
Right.
Am I
Tell
wrong?
him go, but yeah, no, you right. That's just, and it's sad, it's unfortunate, especially for our
It's
men in
sad, but
society. You know what I mean?
it's sad, but it's true. It took me 10 years to get where I'm at
Mm.
to be like, hey man, I feel like we have a subject that ain't about the music. You feel them?
Right. Yeah. And I'm proud of you for
And yo,
coming
listen,
through.
I've known you for 9 out of the 10.
9 out of the 10. That's right.
And I seen you go through some shit too. I'm like, hey
You
man, what's
feel
wrong?
me? I'm telling you, man. I've
Go
been
through
through the
nonsense
emotions.
right now. But because I care, I never put
Yeah.
you last like that. When I met
Yeah.
I said, hey,
Right.
what's going on with you? I felt
You
like you got
definitely did.
remember?
Yeah. Fact.
Hey,
Especially, dealing. Yeah, man, for
and
real.
I
And
know
I
you like
appreciate you doing
too,
that for me. You know what I mean?
but you check me sometimes too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're
Cause you
like,
my
hey,
brother.
what are you doing? You know that already, man. You're my
You
sister.
already know. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
That's how we gotta do it, and that's how we create a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Having good friends that you are able to, like check on and DM, like, hey, look, this what I think how you should go about things. You know what I'm saying? How do you think that we can create a safe space for our community to speak about our childhood and adult trauma? Because a lot of times dealing with childhood issues and not touching on those childhood traumas and you taking those childhood traumas into your adult can form like a major depression too, because then you feel like you're not worthy, or when you're in a relationship you may not feel like you are important enough to that person, or maybe you feel like you're giving a person you're 100% and they only giving you 55%.
That's
You
how
know what I'm
you
saying?
develop trust issues.
Yeah, man. And trust issues
Trust
that
is a
tear
whole
down
nother
the empire,
subject.
man. That's what my man Corday said.
But it intertwines though.
Mm.
Because if you're depressed and you have a trust issue at the same time, oh man.
That's fucked up. You like, damn, I'm fucked up in the head and I don't trust you. Like, damn, what do I do? Do I go smoke somebody? No. Don't go smoke nobody, people,
Don't go
please.
smoke nobody.
Don't go smoke nobody. This is just
We're
thoughts
not
that's in
condoning
my
that
head.
on the program. We're
This
not
is a
condoning
viewer
that.
discretion is advised, please.
Hey man, I tried to viewer discuss this a long time ago.
Yeah, man, because we need a safe space in our society. We have to be able.
We have to keep it real. I'm not trying to disrespect your show, but I'm not gonna censor what I'm gonna say.
Don't censor what you gonna say, fool. Say that. There's no sugarcoating. Shout out to my man Dice. No sugarcoating. You feel me?
You know what it is though.
Yeah, man, because a
I'm
lot
trying,
of times,
trying to
yeah, go
keep it
ahead.
as clean as possible because I'd be dropping the F bombs like
Yeah, go ahead. I'm cleaning up my language because I'm trying to tap into a different audience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to not curse as much. Shout out to my mother for and my woman for just trying to get me to be a little bit more professional on the show. You know what I mean? But
They trying.
sometimes the shit happens. You guys
Are
say
you fucking kidding me?
you guys say what you
Hey
want
man,
to
you
say.
guys brought that back just for me, probably, man.
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I'm saying? You guys say what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, but yeah, though, we need that safe space. And like a podcast, the reason why I came up with this topic is because I have a platform where I connect and I network with a lot of different people. And why not create a space on my platform, thanks to Townhouse Media, you know what I'm saying, my man been ready, you know what I'm saying, for
To
to
been
give
ready.
people opportunities, to speak on stuff that they may not even talk about, on the regular. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Nah, shut up, Ben Ready. He's a really cool dude, though.
Heck yeah, man. My man Ben stay with the gems and the tools because ain't no nation like a donation.
He never got no pop.
No, I was waiting for the drop. My man said, no, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. But nah, though, this is a good place for us to start this type of talk and start this type of conversation, because we dealing with a lot, especially with COVID happening. You know what I'm saying? People not being able to get out. Well, it's starting to open back up now, but before,
People still doing stuff. Not over here.
oh, it's closed over there in Canada.
They just whipped it back off.
They whipped it back off.
This is the third time.
Dang, y'all must be going up with the COVID over there.
Hey, wait. Sorry to butt in. So they shut stuff down again out there.
Hey man, yo, I'm gonna send you all of the nonsense right now. They're calling the military and stuff. This is serious.
No, so it's like martial law in Canada.
Hey man, come on. You can't post this stuff on YouTube. If we start talking about this, we can't talk about this on YouTube. We can make a 3-way group chat and we can powwow about this later, man.
Oh yeah, damn, they censoring y'all like that, Jay. They censoring y'all like that in Canada, bruh.
Listen, I'm smart enough not to talk about too much on the internet.
Smart man.
Because we ain't trying to get you bag.
Hey, you
they'll knock off your show off the internet too.
Then knock it off.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, we ain't gonna talk too much into that though. Damn, I ain't even know that.
Talking about them guys that run the stuff.
Hey Pete, before I get up out of here,
don't exist.
I want to ask my guy one question.
What's up?
On your side of town, do y'all mess with JD Era?
JD Era was popping like 10 years ago.
Oh man, he's done, huh?
That bitch sound real sad.
I haven't heard that name in years, bro. Honestly,
yeah, me either.
I got kicked out of high school 10 years ago. That's probably the last time I heard his name. Maybe even before that.
Dang. And who is Jay the Air? He an artist in Canada?
He's an artist. I never said he was trash, but I really don't remember his work. That's how long it's been.
He had this dope joint called Canada, yeah?
Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. That wasn't even like, that's not JD Era like that. JD thought he was a rapper.
That's the guy, man. That's the guy.
Bro, who's that? What's his name? Classified, the old Canada joint. That was a better hit than that because at least it put on the entire world of Canada.
Oh, y'all take that shit seriously. Canada.
The man sampled the national anthem as a white dude. That's the first studio that I ever recorded at. And every studio that I recorded at, besides the new one that Metro took me to called Nunu.
Mm-hmm.
The one where he did Canon and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I did that shit at home.
Damn.
I started at Sound Resolve in early 2009. I was still 14. And then I already had my stuff at home by then though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I always had equipment at home to record.
Yeah, you been on your self-made. See, you on your self-made. You been at self-made, making the beats and stuff.
I don't want to call it self-made because I don't have the patience to make beats.
I got you.
I buy beats from people, but I can write a track in half an hour.
Oh yeah.
I wrote Canon in like 10 minutes. I was walking to the grocery
that
store.
Cannon joint is a fire track. That's a fire little track.
It's okay. Okay, I'm not allowed to leak. Don't leak it yet.
I ain't leaking it. I ain't even gonna leak. I was gonna say, man, let us get a little snippet, but we gonna hold that for when you really ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, next time Metro's on the show, we'll be ready. He's thinking about the video, but we don't want too much politics. You feel
me? Yeah, I got you. But we about to get this show wrapped up, man. We got my boy Sports for You coming up right after this joint.
Yeah, I didn't take so much of your time and all that, but
no, you did, man. This is conversation, man. This is a safe space for good convo, and we talking about mental health issues. That's something that needs to be spoke on, and you was touching on some good topics. We trying to let people know about the cause and effects and how to turn depression into determination of life. You know what I'm saying? So we want people to push through. We want people to be able to have a place where they can talk to people and, come to them about, issues that they dealing with. If anybody out there listening, if anybody need somebody to talk to, I'm always here all the time, man. I appreciate you. I'm about to go ahead and pass this joint on to Sports for You, but you don't gotta go nowhere. My exit. And I appreciate you, Jay, for coming through. And when you ready to give us that exclusive on a Cannon, you know what I'm saying? Hit the line, hit the DM, my fool.
I'm not gonna leave, but I gotta punch off camera for a quick second.
Oh, all right, bet that. Hey, man, this is Treetop Radio LA, man. That was my boy Jay from Toronto, Canada. We are the North, man. I appreciate him for stopping through. Y'all know y'all can follow me on our business page, man. That's Treetop Radio _LA, man. We are definitely having cash prizes. We're doing giveaways, man. We need y'all to subscribe. We need y'all to share, man. Share the Townhouse Media. Shout out to No Rules Podcast. Shout out to my boys at Sports for You coming up next, man. And this is my man Corday in the back. He just dropped a 4-pack, man. Make sure y'all download that joint. This is Color and Dreams. Hey, Ben Ready, give them your Instagram name and your Cash App, just in case some people out there want to send some love donations, because ain't no nation like a donation.
Oh man, you know what it is. At the Real Ben Ready on Instagram. If you want to drop cash, is Ultimate Apparel. That's ALLTUHMENT Apparel. Appreciate you.
Hey, you already know I don't go a show without saying to my baby, my woman, my love, my soulmate, my twin flame, I love you. I appreciate you for, just empowering me, man, elevating me. I think love is the cure. I think love is a good way to help people elevate. And, since, been together, I've been elevating, and she's been helping me with making my podcast more professional and, making sure that I'm asking the right questions with my guests, man. The goal is always free Simba to my boy is free. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody out there listening to us, man. If y'all want to send me a love donation, my Cash App is the $ Treetop Radio 87. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Capitol Heights, man. Shout out to the whole DMV. Shout out to Baltimore. Shout out to all my dummies out here, man. If you in Baltimore and you take to listen to this podcast, man, come holler at me, man. DM me, man. Hey, Ben Ready. We out this bitch.
My grandmama, man, she truly a keeper. I don't know why the blessings come.
Treetop Radio LA, bitch!
Are you fucking kidding me?